Hello world, Nikolai 518 here, and today I want to talk about the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner certification that I would like to earn in January 2023. I would like to earn this cert for a few reasons. I graduated college in May 2022 with a computer science degree, and I am applying for entry-level software engineer roles. AWS is listed as a requirement for many of the applications I am submitting. Even if it's not a requirement, it's listed at the bottom and it just says, hey, this would be really good for you to know and would help you stand out. So, in order to be more competitive, I would like to get this cert. I also think AWS is a very big player in the tech field, in the tech world. I think small and large companies use it, state governments use it, and learning about it now could help us in the long run. If you don't have any experience with AWS or any prior certs, that's totally fine. A friend and mentor of mine recommended that this would be a great spot to start. So this is why I am specifically doing this cert. As I mentioned, I would like to complete this goal in 30 days. So I'll keep documenting the journey, and if you want to tag along and earn your cert as well, that would be awesome. Let's just very quickly go over the guide that was listed on Amazon's website, just to get a better idea of how we're going to do this. So again, it's AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner. The code is CLF-C01. The introduction. The AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner exam is intended for individuals who can effectively demonstrate an overall knowledge of the AWS cloud independent of a specific job role. Hey, that's me and you. The exam validates a candidate's ability to complete the following tasks: explain the value of the AWS cloud, understand and explain the AWS shared responsibility model, understand security's best practices, understand AWS cloud costs, economics, and billing practices, describe and position the core AWS services, including compute, network, databases, and storage. Identify AWS services for common use cases. Altogether, this is about 9 pages. I will not read absolutely everything to you. I've already read it, but let me sum it up. Let me give you the important keynotes here. What they're saying is, hey, you should probably have about 6 months or some experience before coming in. If you're fresh, that's totally fine. I think as long as we work hard and we learn a little bit each day, we'll be totally fine. To give you some overview about the test, you have 90 minutes. It's 65 multiple choice questions and some multiple response questions, and it costs $100. What happens if you fail? No problem. If that happens, all you have to do is wait 14 days. So wait 2 weeks, you go back to the drawing board, you try to be better in areas where maybe we messed up, and then you just retake the test in 14 days. If your goal is to get the certification in a month, maybe you could prepare for 2 weeks, try the exam. If it doesn't work out, that's fine. Wait another 2 weeks, and then take the exam again. You can essentially take the exam twice in a month. So here it explains a little bit more about the questions. So multiple choice. We've all taken these in school. Choice A, B, C, or D. Only one of those choices is correct. Multiple response has 2 or more correct responses. If you've ever taken any IKM assessments for, what's your understanding of certain programming languages, they'll give you 5 statements and you're supposed to pick which statements are correct. Maybe that's 2, maybe that's 3, maybe that's 4. It's very similar. Here's where it gets a little bit tricky. There are 65 total questions that we have to answer. Only 50 of the questions affect your score. Only 50. Well, why is that? It's because 15 questions are sort of trial questions. These are questions that Amazon thinks these might be good questions for the future. We don't always want to keep the exam exactly the same. We want to change it up. We want to change the questions. Let's throw these questions out there, see how they do. If everyone gets it wrong, okay, maybe the wording is weird or maybe we need to adjust it. But if many people get these trial or practice questions right, okay, cool. Let's try to use these down the road. So 65 questions, only 50 effector score. Your results for the exam are on a scale of 100 to 1,000. A minimum passing score is 700. Here's how the test is broken down. Cloud concepts makes up 26% of the exam. Security and compliance makes up 25%. Technology makes up 33%, so the biggest chunk. And billing and pricing makes up 16%, the smallest chunk. And it gives you some topics that could be included. So define the benefits of AWS Cloud, including security, reliability, high availability, elasticity, agility, all of these great things. And it goes on, and there's about 20 bullet points. We'll break these down at some point. Same for security and compliance. Recognize the elements of the shared responsibility model, describe the customer's responsibility on AWS, so on and so forth. Technology, define methods of deploying and operating in the AWS cloud. Define the AWS global infrastructure. And then we get to billing and pricing. So compare and contrast the various pricing models for AWS, for example, on-demand instances, reserved instances, and spot instant pricing. While it makes up the smallest portion of the exam, I think this part's actually really cool because if you're working on a project or you're working for a company, you'll have a good idea of how much this is going to cost. Or you can give your boss a general idea. Hey, for my cert, I learned this. We can use on-demand instances because X, Y, and Z. So I find this section pretty cool. It also includes an appendix and which key tools, technologies, and concepts might be covered on the exam. Keyword, might. We'll definitely spend a little bit of time going over these, but there's no guarantee that these are going to be on the exam. And I will have this link in the description, so if you want to take a little bit more time to go through and really dive in and get at least a definition for each one, that's totally fine. I think it's probably going to be a combination of at least having a definition or a little bit of an understanding about each topic and doing some practice exams. And like I said, there's a whole bunch of different terms here. I don't have the time, and I'm sure you don't either, to go through absolutely every single one of these in this video, but they are things that we will break down later on. This video was just to serve as a purpose of, this is the general idea. This is the general shape of the exam. This is the task that we're going to try to accomplish. I really appreciate you stopping by. It means a lot to me. My goal is to have my cert by the end of January 2023. I hope you will tag along, and I hope at the very end of the road we can both earn our certificates together. Thanks again for stopping by, and have a great day.